On this edition of City Focus, find out the changes being made to the Community Development Block Grant. Law enforcement officers in the community are honored for Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. The GSAR team is training in Valdosta. We update you on the downtown fire and find out how you can buy your tickets for the 2019 Bird Supper. These stories and more on this edition of City Focus. Welcome to City Focus. I'm Marcus McConico, the media coordinator for the City of Valdosta. This is the first episode of City Focus in 2019. City Focus is your source for what's happening within your government. These are the most important topics that are happening in the city. 2018 was a good year for safety in the City of Valdosta, and the VPD has the stats to prove it.
We went down quite a bit in our property crimes. Burglaries, we had over 100 less this year than we had last year. Our motor vehicle thefts, they were down probably about 40 from this year as compared to last year. So really it's just been our property crimes. And what we see with that is property crimes are more of a crime of opportunity. In saying that, that means that somebody walks by, looks into a car, sees a cell phone, sees something, and they break in and get it. Same as with burglaries. You know, you leave boxes outside where you've got a brand new TV. That gives open opportunity for criminals who want to break in your house to get your new TV. In 2017, we reported 3,137 Part 1 crimes, which are our violent crimes, our property crimes. And this year we're down to 2,701. So we dropped 14%.
Interim Police Chief Leslie Manahan gives credit to the department's relationship with the citizens.
On the police department side, I think it's educating the public. But more than anything, I think the public is finally, doing some steps to protect themselves. Putting stuff in the trunk of their vehicle, not leaving valuables in their car, even in their driveway where they think they're safe, locking their cars up, making it a little bit harder for individuals to see stuff, to want to break into a car. Same as with residences. We can't be everywhere we need to be at one time, but people do take steps and get alarm systems, camera systems on their houses now. And we have a lot of citizens that come forward. Citizens are tired of seeing their neighbors getting broken into or being victims themselves. And we are getting a lot more community support and people coming forward and reporting stuff to us.
And even crimes that the department can't control, like homicides, are also down.
We had 3 this past year, and the previous year we had 9, so we're down 6 between the 2 years on the homicides. It's unfortunate though, homicides are those types of cases that we just can't prevent. You don't know when they're going to happen, you don't know where they're going to happen. There's usually a target that's intended, and those are those that all we can do is respond to them and work them the best we can to hold the people accountable.
There are often misconceptions on the amount of crime that happens in the city, and citizens are encouraged to contact the department to get the facts.
If people feel that way, they can always feel free to call the police department. We can put their mind at ease. We don't live in a community that's full of crime. Do we have crime? Yes, every community does. But we're not seeing an uprise in it as it can be portrayed through social media. People see stuff on Facebook and on social media, Instagram, all these outlets. And unfortunately, everybody thinks that what they see on social media is the truth, and it's usually not.
For more information, contact the Valdosta Police Department. On January 9th, all law enforcement agencies in Lowndes County were honored at a ceremony on the lawn of historic Lowndes County Courthouse for Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
Valdosta and Lowndes County appreciate all of our law enforcement officers like we do. We could not be where we are without our law enforcement officers.
Sheriff Polk stated how he appreciated the great partnerships that is shared in this community.
You get a call and you're out there by yourself, you turn around and look up and there's 3 other cars from 3 other different agencies right there with you. And that's what we need to do, because we are blessed in Lowndes County. We got a lot of good people, we got a lot of good support, and you know, I couldn't ask for more. And my personnel and the personnel of the other people, I mean, we all get along, we all pull one wagon. That's the way it needs to be, and I hope it'll continue to be that way. And I'm sure it's going to do nothing but get better and better.
Interim Police Chief Leslie Manahan told guests that law enforcement officers work in this profession because they love the work that they do.
If you ask them why they do it, it's because they want to serve their community. If you ask us why we stay in the profession, it's because you can ask any officer out here. Their answer is going to be, we love the job. It's great to work in a community where our law enforcement agencies work together, side by side, to make sure that the citizens get the best service from us that they can get.
Metro 17 wants to thank all law enforcement officers for their service to the community. In a ceremony held at the Valdosta Police Department, 5 new officers, Thomas Gooding, Michael Rice, George Tatum, and John Wicker, were sworn in and will soon begin to serve the residents of Valdosta.
I worked so hard to get here. The academy, it was hard, but it was really fun. I made a lot of friends. I hope to keep up with them, see them later in the future. But this is my hometown. I'm proud to serve and protect it.
Gooding and Wicker are both excited to help the community.
When I graduated high school, I knew I wanted to do something law enforcement, and I was like, what can I do to better myself, better everybody in general?
I moved down here for college, graduated college, loved it, decided to stay. Been down here ever since. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to serving my community.
Why did Gooding choose to work for VPD?
Because they're the best of the best.
For more information on how you can become a part of the VPD family, contact the Valdosta Police Department. Recently, GSAR Task Force Team 2 had 38 recruits training in Valdosta. They are completing more than 300 hours of training, with the last class being on structure collapse.
Last recruit class as far as Georgia Search and Rescue. We've got 38 members that are out here right now completing their last of 300 hours of training. This started January of last year, and because of the hurricanes we would have been done in October, but we deployed, so we had to postpone it until January. So now they're completing their 4th and last class, which is a total of over 300 training hours to be on Georgia Search and Rescue Team.
Capture the load, put a wedge.
The class learned techniques to move heavy items in the event of a structure collapse, preparing them for a disaster situation.
I feel I'm pretty much prepared. You know, we get a team together, something you may not be as sharp on, someone else is, and vice versa. So that's why we're a team. We work together, we put our heads together and come up with a solution to fix whatever issue we're dealing with.
After testing, the team is expected to have over 90 members from 11 departments from all over South Georgia.
The 4 disciplines that they're taught are rope rescue, so we do any kind of high angle rescue. We do confined space, so if somebody is trapped, in some kind of space that's confining, like a silo or something like that, we're trained to go in there and get them out. Trench rescue, which we had one of those earlier last month. We're trained to do that, and this is the last class and the most technical one, which kind of rolls everything into one, which is structural collapse.
For more information on GSAR Task Force Team 2, contact the Valdosta Fire Department.
There are a million places you'd never consider texting. So why would you do it while driving? Leave risky driving to the professionals. Stop the texts, and together we can stop the wrecks.
Valdosta Furniture and Mattress has been a staple of downtown Valdosta for over 40 years. It was a shock to everyone to see it go up in flames just days before Christmas.
Get in the car to come down, and then I guess the fire department called, or someone from 911. I'm not really sure who it was, to be honest with you, but they called and said, your building is on fire, you might want to go downtown. So of course we did get in the car then and rushed on down here. And then once we make a left onto Baytree, I could literally look up and see the plume of smoke coming from downtown. So obviously I knew there's no way that this is not going to be good. And then as we progress a little further, I'm seeing the smoke. We get to, I don't know, a couple of blocks from here, and I can see the flames shooting up. And I'm like, holy cow.
The business that his father started means a lot to David Brooks and his family.
This past May was 40 years. So, so for, a while, I wasn't a little tiny kid, but I was a kid when my dad started the business back in '78. So, I was down here sweeping and cleaning up and dusting and, whatever I could do until I got old enough to be able to make deliveries.
The Valdosta Fire Department had all engines on scene in order to keep fire from spreading to other historic buildings downtown.
The old days, about how whole downtowns go up or whole city blocks, and that could have potentially been this city block. The fact that they were able to keep it from going over to the 2-story there, if that one would have caught on fire, who knows? It probably would have just kept on going and going and going. A lot of these old buildings, they have fat lighter in them. The beams are actually made of that. So yeah, it's almost a miracle that they were able to keep it from spreading.
Once I knew the firefighters was safe, my next concern was, can we contain it without burning the whole block down? Because it's traditionally, if you look at downtown fires, a lot of times when one starts, you end up seeing that it's a whole block that's involved. If we didn't have enough firefighters on the scene, if we didn't have enough trucks and equipment on the scene, yes, it could have been disastrous for our community.
I said, man, if there's anything y'all can do to save the 2-story over there, that would be incredible. And thank God they did. It's damaged and it's smoke and heat and all that, but it is salvageable. So that was, man, I can't tell you how happy we are about that.
Brooks appreciates the support that his family has received since the fire. He also thanks VFD for their work that night.
Just how appreciative we are of all the outpouring, really, of all the, text and phone calls and private messages on Facebook and public messages. You name it. There's, I don't know, kind of like when it's your birthday and on Facebook and you get 100 or so messages, whatever it is. Multiply that by, 100, and that's what, we've gotten. So it's so that's been really, really nice. And then certainly the fire department for what they did. That's just, like I say, just a little bit further that way, and it could have been so much worse. So, and of course, thank God.
And what are David's future plans?
Well, one of the first questions we get from everybody is, are you coming back? It's like, well, yeah, we are. Absolutely. I love downtown. I honestly, and people have asked me this before in the past, have you ever thought about moving, to the north end or somewhere else? No, we like it down here. The energy that you get from, I've always said this to people, that you get from these old buildings, you can't recreate that with a new building that you build, even to make it look old. It's just not the same. So we love it down here, and we're definitely coming back.
Metro 17 thanks the Valdosta Fire Department and wishes the best of luck to David and his family. The beginning of the year brings changes for everyone, and the Neighborhood Development Division will also see changes when the calendar changes to 2019.
Starting January 1st, 2019, we are now having an application period for all housing rehab applications. So between January the 6th and April 30th of every year that we receive HUD funding will be the open application period for housing rehab assistance applications. So what will happen is that in December, prior to the opening of the application period, we will put notifications in the newspaper, we will put them on our website, and we will put things out in the community letting people know the application period will open after the first of the year, and it will be open through April 30th.
They want to ensure everyone has all the necessary documents ready before coming in. The department has also added categories for those citizens that may need help.
It's say, for instance, we have a run on applications, and by February 15th, we have no more money, the application period is closed for that year. So my suggestion is for people to, one, give us a call and see if they're eligible. And then two, make sure that they have all of their documentation for their homes in order, meaning that they have a clear deed. We cannot work on any homes that have deed issues. So it's just making sure that all of the paperwork that's necessary to be eligible for the program is in place.
The changes to the program will enable the Neighborhood Development Division to help more people in our community.
When you look at the $10,000 and under program, we figured if we have 10 people come through for $10,000, we're helping 10 families for $100,000. Where before we may have done a rehab or reconstruction where we only assisted one family with $100,000 or one family with $50,000. So we're looking at trying to get our biggest bang for our buck, especially with the dollars that we're given and entrusted with from the federal government. Each year we're guaranteed funding, but then we're not. As we look at the situation in Washington, D.C. with the budgeting, each year that we receive funding is a blessing, and that we need to be good stewards of that funding.
For more information, contact Neighborhood Development.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Give a gift of meals to a family in need. Visit feedingamerica.org/giveameal today.
Valdosta Mayor John Gale and Valdosta Fire Chief Freddie Broom honored Assistant Fire Chief Brian Boutwell at the January 10th City Council meeting. Boutwell completed the U.S. Fire Administration's National Fire Academy Executive Fire Officer Program. Chief Boutwell is the first member of the Valdosta Fire Department to complete the EFO program. During the 4-year program, Chief Boutwell completed extensive research in the following areas: recruiting qualified female firefighters, identifying the problems with the fall injuries for the City of Valdosta, conducting damage assessment for the City of Valdosta, and evaluating PTSD in the Valdosta Fire Department. We congratulate Chief Boutwell on his accomplishment. Tom Pierce is the January 2019 Employee of the Month. After Hurricane Michael came through the City of Valdosta, it left lots of debris to be cleared. This is when Tom Pierce showcased his dedication and leadership skills. He led a team of 28 city employees, removing over 8,000 tons of debris from city right-of-ways. He identified several crew leaders and outlined 24-hour shift coverage that provides the best use of equipment and manpower. Pierce was given 15 days to rid the city of the debris created by the storm. He worked 15 consecutive days at a minimum of 12-hour shifts and met his timeline to clean up the city's right-of-way of debris. Those efforts placed his division back on schedule with its normal daily routine. We congratulate Tom Pierce for being named the January 2019 Employee of the Month.
The Valdosta Youth Council met on January 10th for a leadership class taught by Lynn Brown, who has a certification from the John Maxwell team. This is the second straight year that the group has gone through this type of leadership training. The council will have the skill that will aid them as they serve on the council and in their futures after the terms are completed. These leadership qualities will be something that will always be useful for each council member. For more information on the Valdosta Youth Council, follow their Facebook page. Valdosta Lowndes County residents who have made serving in their community a New Year's resolution have until Wednesday, January 30th at 5 p.m. to apply for one of the 7 city appointments. Central Valdosta Development, Downtown Development Authority, 1 appointment. Keep Lowndes Valdosta Beautiful Board, 1 appointment. Valdosta Historic Preservation, 2 appointments. Valdosta Housing Board of Adjustments and Appeals, 1 appointment. Community Development Block Grant, Citizens Advisory Committee, 3 appointments. These appointments will be made at the February 7th, 2019 City Council meeting. For more information, contact City Clerk Teresa Bolden.
Tickets are on sale for the 2019 Bird Supper. The 2019 event has been moved because of the Super Bowl being hosted in Atlanta. The event is on February 13, 2019 at the historic Georgia Railroad Depot in Atlanta, and it begins at 5 p.m. The annual event, sponsored by the Lowndes County Board of Commissioners and the City of Valdosta, brings together hundreds of state officials and locals for a dinner of quail and conversation. Tickets may be purchased for $50 each at the Lowndes County Judicial Administrative Complex or at the City Clerk office at the Valdosta City Hall. For more information, contact Paige Dukes at 229-671-2400 or Ashlyn Beckton at 229-259-3548. On January 3rd, Valdosta City Schools held a topping out ceremony for the new STEM Academy that will be on the campus of Valdosta Middle School. This new STEM building would not be possible without the support of the community.
If anyone rides through Valdosta and they take a look at our facilities, they see those facilities are, again, state-of-the-art. Without saying, our high school is the talk of the state and maybe even the talk of the country. And without SPLOST dollars, that would not have been possible. And so again, we're just very appreciative of the support of our community and the voters for understanding that our kids need to be in facilities that will allow them to imagine their possibilities for the future.
Valdosta City Schools is proud to allow its students to learn in a state-of-the-art facility.
Well, I think what we're looking forward to is the advancement in education that we can provide our students for the Valdosta City Schools. The facility will provide a state-of-the-art opportunity for our students, and we're just excited about that opportunity.
All of this will better educate the students of Valdosta City Schools.
It is our hope that we can bridge a gap for them of understanding jobs that are not even created yet, and that's what STEM is all about, is to target those students who are unfamiliar with science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, and give them an opportunity to, again, become more versed with those contents.
For more information, contact Valdosta City Schools at 229-333-8500. More than 50% of most living trees' weight is water. That water helps trees thrive. Just like you, water keeps trees hydrated and functioning. You want to water newly planted trees deeply, which you can do easily with one of these 3 watering methods. The bucket method. You can use a 5-gallon bucket to water your tree. Make a 1/2-inch hole near the bottom outer edge. Let the water drain out slowly near the trunk, but not on it. Fill it 2 times once a week every week, even when it's raining. The watering bag method. A bag can be purchased for approximately $30, or one can be made using a 20 to 30 gallon garbage bag. The bag will need to be filled once per week. Be sure to install the watering bag zipped around a support post rather than the tree itself. The gardening hose method. You can run your hose on a slow trickle for 1.5 to 2 hours once a week into the tree basin, even when it's raining. For more information, please contact our urban forester at 229-259-3530. As we close the first episode in 2019, Metro 17 and the City of Valdosta will continue to serve our citizens the best way possible. But we also ask citizens to do their part. In order to truly become a city without limits, we all have to work together to make a better community. This concludes another edition of City Focus. Be sure to visit our website, valdostacity.com. Like us on Facebook, Valdosta City Without Limits. Also like our Valdosta Youth Council page. Follow us on Twitter at City of Valdosta, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Metro 17 Valdosta, to watch City Focus on demand. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on City Focus.